gases. Venus is about 67 million miles away from the sun. It is hot there. Venus is almost the same size as our planet Earth. 1 year on Venus is about 225 Earth days. A day on Venus is about 243 Earth days long because Venus rotates very slowly. On Venus, a day is longer than a year, and a year is shorter than a day. Turn. Earth. Earth is the third planet from the sun. It is the only planet known to have just the right environment for plants, animals, and people to live in. Earth is 93 million miles from the sun. Planet Earth has just enough gravity to hold its atmosphere around it. Earth has a moon. The moon causes the tides to change, making them rise and fall. Earth orbits the sun in about 365 days to make an Earth year. It rotates every 24 hours to make an Earth day. A moon orbits a planet. It has no light of its own. It reflects sunlight. Mars. Mars is the fourth planet from the sun, about 142 million miles away. People wonder if there was ever life on Mars. Although the surface of Mars is dry now, it once had rivers and perhaps even an ocean. In 2004, the Mars Exploration Rover mission sent 2 robotic vehicles to examine this planet's surface. Scientists may still find evidence of life forms. Astronomers believe that Mars looks red because iron on its surface has been rusted by the planet's thin atmosphere. It is very cold and is a little more than half the size of planet Earth. Mars has 2 small moons. 1 year on Mars is about 2 Earth years. A day on Mars is about as long as a day on Earth. Jupiter. Jupiter is the 5th planet from the sun. It is about 484 million miles away. It is huge. It is bigger than all the other planets put together and has rings. Jupiter is mostly made up of gases. Some of the gases form a giant red circle called the Great Red Spot. At least 63 moons orbit around planet Jupiter. One moon, Ganymede, is the biggest moon in the solar system. It is bigger than planet Mercury. Another moon, called Io, has many active volcanoes. 1 Jupiter year is almost 12 Earth years. It has short days, just under 10 Earth hours long. Rings are made up of rock, bits of ice, and dust. Saturn. Saturn is the 6th farthest planet from the sun, about 887 million miles away. It is the 2nd largest planet. Saturn's hundreds of rings make it look different from the other planets. The rings are made up of ice. Some pieces are as big as houses. On Saturn, it is extremely cold. Saturn has at least 46 moons. Titan, its largest moon, is the only moon in the solar system with an atmosphere and clouds. It takes almost 30 Earth years for Saturn to orbit the sun. It rotates in about 11 Earth hours. Uranus. Uranus is the 7th planet from the sun. It is about 1.8 billion miles away. It is so far away that from its surface, the sun would look tiny. Uranus has 10 rings. Uranus is the 3rd biggest planet, about 1/3 the size of planet Jupiter. At least 27 moons orbit around it. Planets farther from the sun have longer orbits. They make more time to travel around the sun. For Uranus to make one orbit takes about 84 Earth years. Uranus rotates in about 17 Earth hours. Neptune. Neptune is the 8th farthest planet from the sun. It is about 2.8 billion miles away. Neptune appears to be blue because of a gas in its atmosphere. It is almost the same size as Uranus. One of Neptune's 13 moons, Triton, is about the same size as planet Earth's moon. The spacecraft Voyager 2 visited Neptune in 1989. 1 Neptune year is 164 Earth years. It rotates in about 16 Earth hours. Pluto. Until 2006, Pluto was thought to be the 9th and farthest planet from the sun. It is now called a dwarf planet. Sometimes its orbit carries it closer to the sun than Neptune. At its farthest, Pluto is about 3.6 billion miles from the sun. It was discovered in 1930. Pluto is cold and small. It is smaller than the Earth's moon. It has one moon called Charon. 1 year on Pluto is about 248 Earth years long. A day on Pluto is about 6 Earth days long. Here on planet Earth, astronomers search the skies through telescopes. Spacecraft are sent into the solar system and beyond in search of new discoveries. We are always learning about the planets, the stars, and what lies beyond. It is fun to search the night skies for planets and stars from our planet Earth. An astronomer is someone who studies the stars and planets. More about our planets. Mercury, which is bigger than Earth's moon, has a core of iron. Venus rotates in the opposite direction of the other 8 planets. Earth is the middle-sized planet. 4 of the planets are smaller and 4 are bigger than planet Earth. Mars has a very large canyon. It is the biggest in the solar system. It is called Mariner Valley and is 13 times longer than the Grand Canyon in the United States. Jupiter is huge. If Jupiter were a big empty ball, more than 1,000 Earths would fill it. Turn. It is very windy on Saturn. Around its middle, winds blow 10 times stronger than an average hurricane on Earth. When the spacecraft Voyager 2 flew past Uranus in 1986, it had been traveling through space for 9 years. Neptune is 30 times Earth's distance from the Sun. Some astronomers have said that studying Neptune from Earth is like studying a dime a mile away. Pluto, now called a dwarf planet, is the only planet that has never been explored by a spacecraft. Now I want you to think about these think critically questions as I read them to you and answer them to yourself. What clues help the reader make predictions about the sequence of the planets? What that means is, why did they arrange the story in the order that they did? What causes Venus's brightness? So flip back to the page that had Venus as the title to figure that one out. Number 3, what information about the planets was most interesting to you and why? So this is your personal opinion, and also give details as to why. How do you know that the author enjoys learning about space? So what clues did the author give you that space is an interesting topic to them personally? Why did they choose to write about space in the first place? And number 5, write. You don't actually have to write. You can just discuss this maybe with a parent or think about it yourself. Tell about a time when you looked at the nighttime sky.